Good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America on Friday, December 5th, 2014. And this is Live Talk. I'm Blessing Zulu.
And I'm Kip Stube.
And tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the ongoing ZANU-PF Congress.
To join the discussion, phone us directly at this number, 001-202-619-2077, and we'll call you back.
And Live Talk goes out to Zimbabwe on our 919 medium wave frequency and on the 4930, 5940 and 15455 kilohertz shortwave, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m.
And on the internet, you can find us at www.voazimbabwe.com, www.voashona.com, and www.voindebele.com.
Torobeda vamwe vedu varipi hatina kuvatanda hatina kuti regai kuuya taitoda kuti vauye muvaone muzwe zvavanotaura kungosotoka vasina kutiudza kana kuti chii chaita kuti varohwe ndomaitiromba zvakaiwana hongu zvimwe nanga makapinduka zvenyu asi zvakazopindimurwa namai Mugabe vachiti zvakaipa hazvingarambe zvakafungirwa zvakazoona nyaya dzobuda nezvazviri pachivande.
Robert Mugabe, the president of Zimbabwe, I think he has been very consistent. He wants to rule the country until he dies, and whatever he's doing is showing that he's consistent with that thinking of his.
Ukhulu lapha ugwenile kakhulu ngoba nxa kuyikuthi uyeyisa umjulu ngokuba ngumama wakhe ukutsho phela lo mkakhe uGrace laye kangeke athatha leso sikhundla ngoba kunenge sesikuzwile ukuthi uGrace nguye layo sezathi athathe isikhundla nxa kuyikuthi ezayeyisa umjulu ngokuba ngumama wakhe ukutsho layo uGrace kameyise njengokuba njalo lokhu kunjengisela ukuthi hayi umdala lokho ephila ensukwini zakudala lokuguga phela kuyahambelana abantu bakudala yibo abalokhe besabambelele ukuthini omama ngabesintwana so yikho kujengisela khona ukuthi hayi ukhulu sekukhulile segugile kaka ame mbijana kubusabanye.
Once again, thanks for joining us, and you are listening to Studio 7 Live Talk. And tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the ongoing elective ZANU-PF Congress.
President Robert Mugabe has indicated that Vice President Joyce Mchuru and her backers might be arrested for alleged corruption. Today, the party is split into plenary sessions, and the closed committees are discussing the state of the economy, the state of the party, and Zim Asset, among other issues.
What happens to ZANU-PF after the Congress, and who will be in the Presidium?
If you wish to join the show right now, phone us directly at this number, 001-202-619-2077, and we'll call you back. That number again is 001-202-619-2077. You can send us a message on WhatsApp, and our number is 1-202-465-0318. Yes, asihlangane njalo mfowethu.
Wonguka Gibbs nasi tinoda kuti tinge tichitarisa nezvemusangano weZANU-PF Congress uri kuenderera mberi iwo kuHarare uko. Uye nhasi vanga vari makomiti anga asingabvumidzwe vatori venhau nevamwe makomiti ayanga achitarisa nyaya dzakaita sana Zim Asset, nyaya dzezveupfumi nemamiriro akaita bato iri. Asi nyaya iri kunyanyonzwikwa nevakawanda ndeyekuti ndianani vanenge vari muutungamiri hwebato iri kana kuti presidium. Mutungamiri webato vaRobert Mugabe ndo vanenge vari kupiwa masimba mushure mekuvandudzwa kwebumbiro remutemo webato kuti vange vachidomaiwo vatedzeri vavo vaviri uye nasachigaro webato. Gibbs.
Yebo kambezo lokandaba lingathola njani khona ngapho ke ngemakhaya thina ngapha hayi siyaphila sibilo kwamagama. Ye esixoxa ngakho ke lamhlanje iCongress yeZANU-PF ekhona ngale eHarare. Sizwile ke ukuthi ke unkosikazi Joyce Mchuru lokho engahambanga khona ngale kuCongress labanye bakhe laba abacatshangela ukuthi babefuna ukugenqula ke umongameli Robert Mugabe. Sezwe njalo ke ukuthi lamhlanje kade kukhona khona ngale Congress bekukhulunywa ke kuma committee ukuthi abantu bayahlala nje bengamahlekana lapha lalapha kukhulunywa ngeZim Asset, kukhulunywa ngomumo womnotho, kuzokhulunywa ke ukuthi iparty yona ime njani. Kanya zani bandla leli sibili bakhona abavumileyo ukuthi hayi kanya kulokugedla kwamazinyo phakathi khona ngale. Kodwa ke ukhangelelweyo uzulukandaba ukuthi kuzathiwana ngokukhethwa labo okuthiwa yi-presidium. Leli lidala lesibili inkalakatha eliba lomongameli labasekeli bakhe ababili njalo lochalimana webandla. So sifuna ukuzwa ngani ukuthi kambe lina libona ngalizani kuyaphumani ke kusasa kumbe ngelanga elilandelayo kukhona mpo-ke nxa sikhuluma nge-presidium. Siphinde futhi nxa singajika kancane sikhulume nje ngokunye ongazani ukwethusa abaningi. Sikhulume labantu amabandla aphikisayo abathi okwenzakala ku-ZANU-PF bangani bathi kunzima blessing. Ngobona ngazani nxa ibandla leli lamandla yokuthi batshintshe isisekelo sombuso kuzayenzakalani nxa labo abafuna ukungena bangangena bala kugenqula phela isisekelo sombuso welizwe kungani kunjalo mfowethu.
Gibbs, I think we have our first two guests. That is Mr. Bright Matonga, the former Deputy Information Minister and a member of ZANU-PF. Mr. Matonga, good evening.
Good evening to you.
And thank you so much for joining us.
With a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Of course, that's Mr. Bright Matonga there. I think we also have Mr. Joseph Chuma. Mr. Chuma?
No, ngazani ke ucingo lakhe lumane lwasibathela ke blessing.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
try to
Samzama njalo.
call him later. Now, Mr. Matonga, tell us what's going on in the Revolutionary Party. It appears all is not well.
No, everything is well within ZANU-PF. There is a Congress, what we call sixth elective Congress, that will be finishing tomorrow, where you elect a new leadership from the presidium to central committee members. So you have new team coming in. But what has been exciting is that the new players, the old players, especially the vice president is not in, and a lot of senior players have not didn't make it to the central committee. And there's also the entrance of the first lady as the representative for women in the Women's League. Remember, it's not the first time that we have had a first lady leading the Women's League. Our late former first lady, Salim Gado, also was in that position. So tomorrow they are going to usher in a new team, a central committee. Then from that central committee, they will then confirm the president, the leader of the Women's League, and also the two vice presidents. One has to be from former PF ZAPO, and then there will be a new national chairperson. I think those ones will be announced tomorrow, and the new central committee members. And maybe in the new year, you then have your Politburo. So that's what has been happening here in Harare.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matonga. Please do stay on the line. And I think we have our second guest. That is Dr. Nkuleko Sibanda, a political analyst based at Huddersfield University in Britain. Dr. Sibanda, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Gibbs?
Dr. Sibanda, what's your take on what is happening in ZANU-PF?
I think that what is happening here for me is one of those things that has, to a certain extent, cleared up the long question about what Mugabe wants to do in the next 5 years and how the question of succession is going to play itself out between Mnangagwa and Mrs. Mujuru. The sitting vice president, I think it has told us that Mugabe has played his game and is securely and cleverly securing safe passage for himself, but also a safe future for his children and his wife, should he not be here for the next 10 years.
Mr. Matonga, is it a question of Mr. Mugabe preparing for his future?
I'm surprised people are talking about a safe passage. The party holds a congress every 5 years and a conference every year. And then it's unfortunate that people tend to interpret it in whatever way they want, but the issue is that you select a new leadership. Whether people like President Mugabe and his family or whoever, that's another debate for another day. And that debate has been happening all the time, and people have actually wished him now he's still there. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you will have President Mugabe until for the next 5 years, and we have to put up with that and focus on key issues. Key issues of economic development. We're talking about Zim Asset, accelerated Zim Asset, which is an empowerment program, which is part of the United Nations process, Article 19 of 1993. So that's what we've implemented, empowering the local communities, empowering the minorities that were underprivileged, empowering women, really and developing this country. And it's unfortunate that sometimes people tend to focus on the wrong things. That doesn't bring things that don't bring food on the table. You may say, some people don't like President Mugabe. A lot of them like President Mugabe. And we can debate until, the cows come home to roost. Mm-hmm. But really the issue is we should learn to focus on productive issues, developmental issues, things that matter, things that put food on the table. So unfortunately, we've tended to kind of hijack to be Mujuru, Mugabe issue. It's unfortunate that Vice President Mujuru didn't make it, but that's politics for you. This is also what happened 10 years ago in 2004. Emmerson Mnangagwa had thought he had everything in the bag. Then things changed overnight. Now he's said even if he's going to be made a vice president, that much we don't know. We can only tell tomorrow. But as Zimbabweans, I think we should be saying to our leadership that we need constructive debate. We need productive debate. We need to engage the West. We need to engage everyone so that we can rebuild our country. We can talk about sanctions. Again, people say there are no sanctions. Others say there are sanctions. But what is important is that every Zimbabwean should have a stake in the country. We should also respect our constitution. Constitution that allows every Zimbabwean to have a share of this cake. And we all enjoy, we all live happily after.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Gibbs.
Dr. Sibanda, you come in there, yes. But what Mr. Matonga is saying is that in politics, you eat or you are eaten, right?
Yes, but, the difficult part of this is that in his view, which is a ZANU-PF view, everything is unfortunate. You can just imagine how many times he said everything was unfortunate. But I think what he also did in his attempt to justify the re-election of Mugabe into leadership at this very late age was to break ZANU-PF's laws. He simply said, we all have to put up with the president. That's what allowed ZANU. I wonder if he's in Harare and at the Congress, because as soon as they hear that we have to put up with the president, instead of like the president, he might end in a lot of trouble. But I think that what he has to accept, what everybody must accept, is that President Mugabe is late in his age. President Mugabe does care or should care about what happens to Mrs. Mugabe and the children when they go. They've the young girl who just got married, Bona, has been given farms that have been looted from other people as well, and that those need to be protected if she's going to make use of them. The question of Mugabe becoming a complete dictator is what we see at this Congress. Why does Mugabe need to be a complete dictator with him appointing everybody to any position that means anything, even within the party itself, as if the party has now suddenly become the state as well? It is simply because even Mugabe himself understands that he cannot play God, that his twilight simply means that one day he's going to be gone. And his wife is still fairly young. She has not even reached a retirement age. And for that reason, he wants to be a dictator so that he can dictate everything going forward. And I will say this to Mugabe today, congratulations, he's done very well because his opponents in ZANU-PF have not been well trained in politics. Joyce Mujuru played this one so bad, and she's put herself in a position where she can't win. And now we have Mugabe having the upper hand in such a way that he has all the abilities to determine the complete future of the party and almost the future of Zimbabwe, because the other oppositional political parties are not equipped with the political thinking that can challenge ZANU-PF that is the power of the state.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Sibanda. For those of you who are just joining us, this is Studio 7 Live Talk. And tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the ongoing ZANU-PF Congress. And of course, our guests this evening, we have political analyst Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda, and we also have former Deputy Information Minister, Mr. Bright Matonga. Regai timbwende kuvateereri tina mukoma Peter Moyo makadi. Aiwa tiripo muri kuona sei zviri kubuda kuZANU-PF?
Chokwadi chiri pachena ndechachitaura vapedza kutaura kuti vaMugabe vari kungoda kuzvigadzirira munhu achachengetedza upfumi hwavo, saka vachingovhiringa zvakawanda wanda. Mukazitarisa sezvachitorwa kuti Bona akapuwa purazi yakatara kuhwedza kutaya kuti vanozviziva kuti kana pakaenda munhu anoda kuita chokwadi zvose zvinobuda, saka vari kubvisa vana vaJuu navamwe vose ava kuti vasare vakaprotekitwa naMnangagwa nenyaya yekuti vanoziva vane ukama hwavo kubva kare. Saka ichokwadi chaicho kuti vachitaurwa kuti vaMugabe vanopedza confusion yekuti varambe vari pachigaro uye mhuri yavo irambe yakachengetedzwa naMnangagwa. And you will see tomorrow Mnangagwa is going to be mentioned.
Aiwa tinotenda zvikuru mukoma Peter kunyangwa hazvo panyaya yekuti mwana waMugabe akapuwa purazi apa pasina umbo hwakati tsvikita, handi nyaya yekuti tingabva tataura tisina umbo hwacho hwakakwana, asi tinotenda nekupinda muchirongwa chedu. Tinotenda zvikuru. Of course, Peter is saying it's all about Mr. Mugabe looking at the interests of his family. Normally, we don't want to discuss about the president's children since they are not into politics. I think we are okay discussing about the first lady. She's now a politician, but normally the kids are, you know, it's dicey. It's something that we don't want to to talk about.
Even here in the USA, something.
Yeah, indeed. We want to stay clear of that. But for Mrs. Mugabe, I think we can discuss that all day. Regatende unemwe mtereri. Mkoma Lazarus, makadi.
Hello.
Makadi mkoma Lazarus.
Tisipeti makadi wa ndimkoma Njonga.
Ndi mkoma Blessing, zvirukudi?
Zvinani kuri Washington DC.
Aiwa kuno kuri nani zvako. Muri kuona sei Congress yeZANU-PF?
Congress yeZANU-PF yakamira kuipa chaiko chaiko. Nekuti mukada kuona zvipo ipapa kune vamwe vanhu vatiri kuona kuti vachadisappointwa. Nekuti vaMnangagwa zvavaripo ipapa vari munhu akatotageta chigaro ichi chekuva vice president, asi inini sokuona kwangu havatombopinzwi ipapapa, nekuti vaMugabe vana munhu akaita sewaya kwavari, munhu avanokwanisa kutwista to any direction yezvido zvavo ivo. Saka tozoenda futi pana mama vedu ava indoona sekuti dai vakaramba zvavo vakati nyararei, because vakataura munhu uye achateerwa chega chega chaainacho akatorerwa zvokuti vanogona kusarirwa vapa.
Ndimai Mujura.
Ndimai Mujura.
Aiwa tinotenda zvikuru mukoma Lazarus.
Wangu hamaita basa.
Tinotenda. Of course, Lazarus is saying that Mr. Mugabe wants to work with people who are pliable or yes men. And his advice to Mai Mujuru is that she must keep quiet, otherwise she will lose all her properties.
Ms. Matonga, what's your reaction to what people are saying?
Look, you know, people are entitled to their views. As I indicated in my earlier discussion, was that this is politics. You've got to understand, if you President Mugabe leads his party, he doesn't follow the party, he leads the party. So my good friend, the doctor from Huddersfield, I'm sure, you know, that's a lesson for him, for his students, if he's teaching politics. I think people need to take lessons from that for their thesis and study African and especially the Zimbabwean politics. You know, this is a game. And if you're outdone or outsmart, you know, you take a cool and you sit back and reflect. Because when you go for elections, there are losers and the winners. and there can never be free or fair elections. Whether, we can debate all day to say Mujuru was supposed to be there, she wasn't supposed to be there, and I'm happy you corrected the issue of the kids. Sometimes people tend to personalize these things and make them, then we lose the debate. I think what we should be focusing on or hammering on is that once there is this Congress, which is a one-off process, which happens after every 5 years, is ZANU-PF, is the government making sure that people are well looked after, the economy is well looked after, we're fighting corruption, not to be seen to be just fighting corruption, and making sure that there is a process that is done transparently so that you don't arrest people because they are weak. You don't arrest people because they're not your friends. We should, give ideas. And I was expecting that again from the doctor from Huddersfield, to give ideas to say how these things are handled in Europe. Then we can all benefit. What is going to come out of ZANU-PF? Yes, there's going to be a new leadership. We may like it or we may don't. But the most important thing is we've got to look at empowering people, fighting corruption, putting in new systems, putting in new blood, so that, again, respecting the Constitution, so that there is no fear. So that when you're Zimbabwe, whether you are in the States, you are in the UK, this is your home. You should feel part and parcel of this country and not to be intimidated or, think that, someone will come for you. As for President Mujuru, she has handled the issue very well. She's remained quiet. She's a loyal cadre. When the party says stop, you stop. You don't fight. And that's why she's kept quiet. And people, I think, she is laughing all the way and say, well, it happened to someone, and if I've been asked to stop, I will stop. So really, there is no blood that is going to be shed anywhere. So really what is important is that the team that the president, who has already been appointed, is going to be a team that is dedicated to promoting economic survival of the country, to promote international relations, to promote agriculture, to promote a lot of things, empowering the youth, empowering the women, and that things are done in a transparent manner. How do you fight corruption? Do you just go and arrest people? Or you have to come up with a program of educating people about corruption. You see, these are the issues I think that we all need to focus on, not to focus on the personal, all that President Mugabe is afraid. People have been saying this for years, and he's still there. And so really, it's pointless to even to make this a tribal issue. I think we need to move away from that process and focus on this Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe that we all like and love.
Thank you, Mr. Matonga. Of course, Dr. Sibanda will tell us if there's anyone who is trying to bewitch the Prime Minister in London. Gibbs.
I think one thing that needs to be pointed out is that if it had anything to do with me, I would rehire the former minister to his position. Quite effective. But he said a few things that are certainly very correct. There can never be free and fair elections in ZANU-PF or run by ZANU-PF. I completely agree with the former minister there. I completely agree with the former minister there.
In any election, they can never be free because a loser who always complained to say that there was no level playing field. So it's not a ZANU-PF issue. Elections are, especially in Africa or even in Europe or Australia, they are just tough. I have been through this game. I've won elections, I've lost elections, but I'm still here. You just have to have a thick skin and just understand that one day you lose and one day you win and you live happily after.
You're right there. That's the nominal value of why there can never be free and fair elections, that the loser may always complain. But it is always nearly impossible for the loser to complain if the process itself is transparent. If it isn't transparent, then you actually say that the actual value is that the election is in reality not free and fair. Otherwise, it would be made very transparent. The second thing that you're absolutely right about, in Zimbabwe or in a dictatorship, the leader owns the people. He leads the people. That he never listens to anybody. He listens just to himself and does what he wants. I agree with you. This is what is happening in Zimbabwe. This is what has always happened. This is what we've always complained about in terms of the Zimbabwe electoral process. In terms of whether or not we can bring the president's children into a debate, if the children are adults and they have reached the age at which they can vote and participate in politics, and we think they are participating, we must be able to discuss them. Look, we have the president's daughter in Angola. She is the third richest woman in the world in one of the poorest countries in the world. We must be able to talk about that. If the country is poor and some people are getting exponentially or disproportionately rich or getting properties that they shouldn't be getting or cannot be explained clearly, those must be part of a mature political debate and should not be left from that debate.
Yeah, our problem, Dr. Sibanda, was that we can't say Bona was given a farm when there's no proof about that, and I don't think the kids have been involved, or the children have been involved that much in politics in Zimbabwe, to the extent that we can equate them to what is happening in Togo, for example, or in Angola.
Let's take two callers.
I agree. Yeah. I think for this debate, and because the former deputy minister is here, we need to cover his back as well. I think that we can leave that out.
No, it's not about him. I think we also take exception to the attacks on the vice president's children by the Herald. I think it's the media.
Dictatorship and all that. Look, if you have to be a ruler, you have to be in control. President Mugabe is the commander-in-chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. When you want to be a president, you should have control of the systems. It's never fair. But what you have to be clear is that the basic principles, have they been followed? Even when they changed the constitution a few days ago, it was put to the people, to the Central Committee, to approve that process. If people were differences, they would have said no. But that was supported. Unfortunately, if you're not in ZANU-PF, and sometimes people don't understand what happens in politics. There are rules and regulations that govern. Once you want to play that game, it can be good, it can be dirty, it can be everything. But it happens. But for you to get on Zimbabwe to say Zimbabwe is a dictatorship, Zimbabwe is this. Look, I think those are your opinions, but there is freedom. Freedom to own resources, freedom to own land, freedom to reclaim what belongs to us. We cannot have apologies for that. If you're happy there, we've been in England. You are not allowed, if you're a black person. There's things that you can do, there are things that you can't. Even if you're a lecturer, wherever you are, that you can. They will not allow you to run the shows. And why should we allow foreigners to do that? Why can't you be proud of your own country and fight for the improvement?
I think you're making a mistake. I'm more proud of my country. I think I can claim that I'm more proud of my country than you are. And I can prove that, because anything I will do for that country and everything I have done and everything I have dreamed of is to make sure that I build a country that has a future that will take us to the times we can't see. A country that is built on the principles in which everybody is truly equal, everybody is truly irrespective of each other. A country in which it doesn't really matter what party I come from. I can also participate in the political processes. Unfortunately, and you may want to claim this to be an opinion, but you know it to be true. For the past 30 years in a country of 12 million people, you've only had one person who ZANU-PF thinks is capable of leading the country. If that was the case, then you could conclude from that basis alone that ZANU-PF believes that this country is made out of very stupid people who couldn't lead themselves.
Dr. Sibanda, we are going to take a short break and we'll be back with you. So, Dr. Sibanda, please do stay on the line, and also Mr. Matonga, please do stay on the line. Desire South Africa. Gibbs.
We also have Dr. Chikobarara in DRC. Desire.
Of course, for our radio listeners, we are continuing with this discussion. We are streaming live. Go to www.voazimbabwe.com and press on live talk. This is Blessing Zulu.
And I'm Gibbs Dube saying, stay tuned.
for those of you who are just joining us, good evening. And this is Studio 7 Live Talk. And tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about the ongoing ZANU-PF Congress, where President Robert Mugabe yesterday lambasted Vice President Joyce Mujuru, alleging that she wanted to topple him. And of course, the president was saying that the vice president went to the extent of even going to traditional healers to try and topple him, Gibbs.
So kanya kuzima kakhulu kolapho. Ye, nxa lifuna ukuthi lingene kuhlelo kathesi ke nasi nombolo 001-202-619-2077. I think we've got a caller blessing in DRC, and that is Dr. Chikwabarara. Dr. Chikwabarara, good evening and welcome to the program. Are you there, Dr.
Hello, guys, how are you?
Yo, very fine. How's DRC?
Yeah, DRC is okay here.
Oh, good. So what is your take on what is happening in ZANU-PF?
Right. The problem that we are having right now is the problem that we have talked about for almost now 4 years. That one man has just dominated the political sector of our country. If you just remember, this is why Jonathan Moyo was forced to quit the party last time. He said the shit about ZANU-PF, and he just said Mugabe is ZANU-PF and ZANU-PF is Mugabe. So right now we are so surprised that they are calling the Congress as elective Congress, while at least there are no elections being done, there are nominations there. They have to change the word. They have to change the principle. They have to say it's a nominative Congress, not an elective Congress. Because there's no one there who is being elected. All of them have been nominated for the post and the position.
Now, who do you think? Yes, okay, go ahead.
The democratic society that we wanted after independence, then we would have a democratic system in all spheres of life, including the political parties, including the ruling party, including all systems of government.
Now, who do you think? Who do you think the president is going to pick, Doctor?
Bring the evidence for this Nigerian company so that we can send it to court. But the first lady was saying she has the evidence, and the president is saying bring the evidence. So who has the evidence for those allegations now? You see, that's the problem that we have. The PF have spent most of their time living in the past. I've read much of the former president of the United States, John F. Kennedy, the deputy president of the United States. No one said, if you have spent much of your time living in the past, you are likely to miss the future. One PF right now is going to miss the future because they have lived in their past for the past 4 years. Tomorrow, one said, in Gambia, they are full of dead wood. When the president said something, no one will respect that action. So, the people themselves, the supporters of them, they should be given enough time, enough respect to choose their leaders of their choice. To make the leaders that are going to be imposed by the president. That's the problem that we have. So, I don't think these allegations for the assassination or corruption or whatever that are not true. I don't think they are true. Because every time they have got a crucial Congress, their allegations leveled against others. That's the same time that they did when Mujuru was elected vice president. There was a collective declaration, there was the dismissals, there were suspensions, all of these things during a crucial Congress.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have heard you. Thank you so much.
Of ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF has lived in their past for 4 years, and they don't have the future anymore.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So what we'll do is we'll pose some of those questions that you're actually raising to Mr. Matonga. But before we go that, we want to thank you for actually participating in our program tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. So thanks to him. Yeah, thank you so much. I think there was a delaying effect, he's very far. Kathesike silo mnumzana uDesire usecingweni. Baba Desire wawutshona njani?
Yaphila njani ba?
Hayi siphilile kunjani eJosi?
Hayi ku-right baba ngihlisa nje mina.
Awuboni ke mfowethu ungathini ke ngokwezala kuZANU-PF?
KuZANU-PF into mina ngiyamangala abantu bathola lo Matonga lo uthi ZANU-PF ine-democracy ZANU-PF ilisana ne-corruption akayazi into akhuluma ngayo or either uhlakaniphe kakhulu ukuthi nabantu asiyazi what is happening in Zimbabwe. Siyahamba kwamanye amazwe siyabona what is happening, what is democracy, yini ukulisana ne-corruption. How come iZANU-PF izolisana ne-corruption umgabe erich kangaka yonke le mali itholako ngoba eZimbabwe kuZANU-PF kahle kahle i-corruption kula ezalelwe khona kula ehlala khona. Namanje idemocracy awukhethi kune-democracy kuZANU-PF kube nomuntu oyi-one kuthi kune-congress umuntu oyi-one kube uyo-two leader ukhetha i-leadership. Ihlazo ngempela lelo nto alikhulumayo. And abantu babhekile le nto kuZANU-PF mpela izwe laseZimbabwe nje laba sebhadini enkulu kahle ngokuthi ithole i-leadership eyisasanile like iZANU-PF. It's very painful.
Yes, siyakuzwa kakhulu ke mnumzana Desire khona ngapho ke eJozi uphenduke phela ngeviki ezayo mfowethu.
Okay baba ngizofona futhi ngivikeza.
Awubona siyabonga kakhulu. So what Mr. Desire is raising here is very interesting. He says now like what Dr. Makobarara was saying. He says the Congress is centered on one person. Now if it's centered on one person, which means there's no election that we can talk about here. So it's a question of some kind of, somebody dominating the whole process.
Praise and worship.
So yeah, praise and worship. Some have even compared the president to the Almighty. I was reading something today, So he says that's exactly what is going on. And he doesn't believe that ZANU-PF is fighting against corruption. He says that doesn't happen at all. And even democracy. He says no, there's no democracy at all. I think those are the issues that you can,
maybe before we go to our next caller, let's talk about corruption briefly. Dr. Sibanda, is ZANU-PF now serious about fighting corruption?
Listen, in the last 3 years alone, we've been lowering our standards in terms of corruption further and further. Just a couple of days ago, we are now the 14th most corrupt country in the world. And everybody in the country, including the former deputy minister, know that corruption is something that we now see as normal. If you see a police officer, what you think of is corruption. You walk into an office, what you think of is corruption. It is impossible that you can imagine that President Mugabe, who took a country that was nearly a first world country from our colonial rulers in terms of its systems and processes, and totally changed it. He didn't change just the systems. He's changed our hearts, the way we feel about each other, the way we care about each other. We now hate each other. We can't trust anybody. You can't trust yourself sometimes because of what we have gone through in the last 30 years. It is mass murder. He has murdered millions of people. If they walk, they're just carcasses. And then now listen to your last caller. The last word he says was kulihlazo, and it's painful. And that's true. What Mugabe has done to our country is going to remain with us, not for one generation, for 2 generations, for 3, 4, 5 generations. If you look at it scientifically, you could almost say we are at the brink of extinction. If we do not change dramatically, there is no way in a world that is competitive evolution we can survive given the structures and the systems that Mugabe has created. What he has done is worse than what Pol Pot did because he's killed us while we continue to walk.
Matonga nyaya yeuri vamwe vari kuti hapana chiri kuitwa pa gwara remusangano rarasika kudhara kwaimbwa kuti kune nzira dzemasoja dzekuzvibata nadzo.
Aiwa zviri kutaurwa nachiremba avo. I'm surprised actually by his reasoning. He seems to be he doesn't believe in himself. Fear of the unknown. kuti vagarisa zvakare vasina kuuya kumusha. That rhetoric we've heard it so many times and it's all proved to be false. Ngavadzoke kumusha. Some of us, we've been there kwavari koko. Tiri madoctor as well. We came back. Make sure that we contribute positively towards the promotion of all those things that he's been talking about. Saka zokuti anzi popoti chichi, come on, that's old debate, that's old stuff. Let's focus on critical issues. I want to hear these callers, the doctor. Say to the guys, what is ZANU-PF doing on corruption? What is ZANU-PF doing on the economy? What is ZANU-PF doing on foreign policy? We want you to hammer on those issues because it's important to get constructive criticism so that you can shape the policies of your country. This country is waste. Here's corruption. Every country is a corruption. But I'm not saying that corruption is good. It's not. Let's hear the views. How do we think as a country or Zimbabwe we should fight and eliminate? You can't eradicate corruption. You eliminate corruption. How do you do it? How is it being done in other countries? These are the views that you want to hear from progressive Zimbabweans. Yes, there is corruption. Yes, the economy is in bad shape. What is it that we need to do as a people? What is it that you want to contribute so that ZANU-PF, the leadership, hears from its people?
Can I just answer you? You continue. The very first thing you do, the very first thing you do to deal with corruption. Let me tell you the truth. What they do world over to eliminate corruption. Let me tell you what they do, and tell me if you can do it in ZANU. What they do to eliminate corruption elsewhere in the world, and that's the only reason why there are elections in any country, is to change leadership from time to time, to remove what you would call, which is the source of corruption, to remove the over-centralization of power and the strong patronage. That is how you deal with corruption. The first thing you do is change leaders regularly. Can ZANU-PF, in its commitment, to anti-corruption, change leadership?
Doc, we had 2 months ago, we had the same thing with MDC. How come you're very quiet about that?
I'm not quiet. I'm a critic of the corruption in the MDC.
Why has he moved? He shifted away from distributing power to his other colleagues. We need to be. In other words, you're saying Zimbabwe is doomed. Is that what
the MDC is younger than ZANU-PF. You'd expect ZANU-PF to be leading the first, to be providing the good example.
Democratic Party. How do you then give all the powers to one person, to Morgan Tsvangirai? We have failed dismally. We have lost elections 3-4 times. The West have made massive investments, and nothing has come out of that. I don't think having one person for these years, is stopping things. You're just focusing on negative issues. What has been happening in Zimbabwe? What are the positives?
Aiwa, Deputy Minister, I'm not going to use one. That's corruption.
Hello?
Could you attempt to do that?
I thought I didn't get you.
Changing leadership is one way of dealing with corruption, and this must happen both in ZANU-PF and in MDC or any other political party that is committed to an anti-corruption process in the country. If you think the MDC has the same problem, I give it to you. I agree with you. I think you have valid arguments. But that same argument you're making applies to ZANU-PF. As a member of ZANU-PF and not a member of the MDC, when I'm talking to a member of the MDC, I will address these issues with them. But I'm talking to you. Would you be committed to a process in which there is constant or periodic change of leadership as a way of showing commitment to anti-corruption?
I totally agree with you. We're all fighting to have an anti-corruption bureau, not in a ministry, but even under in the office of the president. Because if you have it, these are the things we most of us have been advocating for. That if you've got an anti-corruption body, it should be in the president's office. If you put it in a ministry, You know, if a friend of mine is involved in corruption, I can collude with my colleague minister, and then we destroy that process. So really, these are the views that we expect to hear from progressive Zimbabweans. There is corruption everywhere. You go, you know, you drive along the roads, you are in the street, the workers, you're at the airport, everywhere. There can be corruption. How best do we fight corruption? How best should the party, rather than focusing on power only, how can the party build the economy? How can the party be attractive, create an environment that is conducive for investment?
Gentlemen,
how do we mend our foreign relations?
Gentlemen,
these are the views I think that we want to hear from you, Doctor.
Okay, we want to take advantage of your temporary truce to bring in the callers. We have Felix on the line in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Felix, good evening.
Good evening. How are you, all of you gentlemen, the four of you?
We are doing great. Thank you so much, Felix.
You.
Now, Felix, your take on this
I'm very disappointed with Bright Matonga and Dr. Nkululeko. Please don't argue with the words and shouting. Sorry, let me continue with what I want to say. When you talk of corruption, don't just look at money or financial things. It comes from the main word corrupt, which means it starts from moral decadence. Mm-hmm. You see, it's a complete thing. Starting from our morals, we don't have respect for other people's properties anymore in Zimbabwe. So people, they don't even care whether they kill someone or whether they destroy somebody's property, and that is a fact. That is happening. The second issue I will bring to Dr. Matonga is denying the truth. He is no longer going to high-density suburbs. I come from South Africa. The moment I step in my neighborhood, my wood, somebody is asking me for $1. And yet I'm a visitor, I should be hosted when I come home. Why should people ask money from a visitor when they are supposed to host a visitor? It means they have got no money, they are poor. What is causing the poorness to our people? It's corruption in government.
My brother in Port Elizabeth. Kana makaya kumusha kwenye kuna hama vanhu vanokumbira mari kana musingati munowanyima. This is your personal issue. Yeah, don't think we can. I can't afford on asking you for $1 or this and that. But,
okay, let me concur with Dr. Nkululeko. When we were talking the issue of the MDC, he didn't side with anybody. He even said Morgan Tsvangirai was a dictator. If I may quote that way, it's not the exact word that he said. That man is a neutral man, just like Studio 7. He's neutral. And we've heard him so many times. Sometimes we even disagree with him. He stands by his words.
Thank you. But we need to use that are constructive for the country.
Okay, yes. Let me give you the last point. We were always quarreling about sanctions in Zimbabwe. Now you are bringing in the issue of corruption.
How does corruption and sanctions? Come on, South Africa has got the highest murder rate in the world. Zimbabwe is hardly
corruption and
someone has been
sanctions
killed for anything.
Coming to effect now. Can you explain to us now?
Best do we fight corruption?
Thank you very much.
Corruption everywhere. We need to hear your views. What are your recommendations in terms of fighting corruption? This is the question I'm asking you.
My recommendation in terms of fighting corruption
what are the recommendations that you want to give to the government to fight corruption?
Including you, Dr. Matonga, you must declare all your assets in Zimbabwe. We want to know all the properties that you have. To the last person, the poorest, you should declare. Then we can see how did you get these properties? How did you get all these financial, all these finances that you have? How did you get them? You can show the breakdown of how you got those things.
Nkoma Felix, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We have another caller, but thank you so much for your contribution. uyeva Joe mkoma Joe makadi mkoma Joe inenge isiri kuita zvakanaka. Okay,
ziye kudokotela uyazizwela lapho ukuthi sokuchisa enkundleni. So ke nxa likhuluma khonapho ke kungani liyazwana ye kodwa liyadifa kuma views. So kodwa mina esengibona kungazani kuqhakathekile kathesi ukuthi mbuze ukuthi ubone ngani kuyaphuma njani bolabo abakhethwa kukhongolose lapha nxa sikhangele ngepresidium.
Phela okunye fanele sikunanzelele ukuthi singalokhu sikhuluma ngezanu senze ngani sikhuluma ukuthi kuzaba le congress yaphambanisa. Izama congress isile read an annual or 5-year kind of celebration in which they come in and celebrate the leader that they have at that time, because kabasayenza ama-election phela ukuzala nxa besiya ku-congress upresident uyosekhetha abantu bakhe bonke just as you would have done 300 years ago. I don't even think ukuthi uKing Lobengula selected his lieutenants that way. He selected his lieutenants on the basis of ukuthi ngathi wena ulesigaba esingakanani njalo kwakusazi ukuthi hayi lo angadlula kulandelwa kanjani, kodwa umgabe ule extra advantage edlula that of a king where he can pick and choose ama-lieutenants akhe without following any set rules or any set process or without following historical precedent. So dictatorship Mugabe at this moment goes beyond the dictatorship of a king at any particular point in history. We, in Mugabe's world, we are as close as possible to our primate stages 6 million years ago. That's where we are. We're actually the guy who could make the best weapon using a stone ruled everybody else, regardless of anything else. King Lobengula would not appoint an Induna based on not liking the existing Induna. They would appoint an Induna directly from the descendants of the ruling person. Now, we are in a very desperate state. We're in a very dangerous state at this moment. And I think that the former deputy minister is clearly aware of these things, but actually he has to leave. He has to a certain extent, try to clean the house. And when you talk to him, you can see that actually there are very few in ZANU-PF who understand what's wrong about that system as he does, and as he clearly shows. He said earlier on that we just have to put up with the president. He's putting up with this system.
Dr. Matonga, zviri kunzi nyaya yekuti mutungamiri adome vatedzeri vake nasachigaro yaitwa kare kare aikwane muutongo hwejekerere.
I am a product of Ndabazinduna. Saka tikada kudzokera kuti kwana Lobengula, it kills the debate because tinge tautaura kuti vakadzi vakanaka vaitorwa kumashona vachitorwa naLobengula, then it goes kugukura hundi, and you kill the debate. Once you lower yourself to those issues, let's not be emotional. Tirikuti isusu, we want a better Zimbabwe. What is it that needs to be done so that the leadership listens to its people? How are we going to create a conducive environment for investment? Do you create a conducive when you are fighting? Do you create a conducive investment when you are not implementing the things that you say you're going to do? These are the views that you want to hear from progressive Zimbabweans all over the world. This is your country. Let's move away from look, it doesn't put food on the table for me. It doesn't put food on the table for someone in Cholocho. Let's have now that we've got this land, how best do we think we can increase food production? Now that we're saying there's indigenization, who is benefiting? These are my chefs who are just grabbing my businesses. Let's hear those things. If you know someone, tell us who is corrupt. People in power. These are the things that can make Zimbabwe progressive. Even this is what I expect to hear from everyone, every Zimbabwean, every reasonable Zimbabwean all over the world. But let's hear those views. Because this is our country. Akuna see, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if you speak your mind, someone will come at night and knock on your door and you disappear. That is now a thing of the past. Let's see how we can support President Mugabe. Akuna election, but he was elected. He is there. That's what I'm saying. He will be there for till 2018. We can debate with Shandisa a wrong system. But if you are outsmart, 90 years But every time, every election you lose to a 90-year-old. So who is wrong? Who is a fool? You know, if you are going to use that kind of language, let's be progressive and make recommendations that, you know, that can rebuild this country.
Regatile kuna mkoma George kubotswana. Mkoma George makadi.
Ndipo ni makadi ni mkoma blessing.
Aiwa ndiri nani nyaya iri mudariro mainzwa.
Ndangonzwa ndavhura radio muri pakati pechirongwa.
Kutaura nezviri kubuda
kucongress. Kuti zviri kutaura nababa vanhu kubva kutaura kana ndisapota yeZANU-PF number 3 reka number 1.
Inhango yeZANU-PF.
Inhango yeZANU-PF. Ndada kumutaura murume iye ari kutaura ndechekuti kune murume uyo akarohwa nemapurisa paAfrican Square Unit. Munhu ari kudemonstrate asina kana pfuti asina kana banga anoroerwei. Kana chizwa vanofana
kuita wasina president kama varada kuita muningina wavo kuti atete over papresident tikada kutaura zvekuti munhu waana ari kudemonstrata people kuamerica uku vanhu vanorohwa mabhoyi vari kurohwa vari kufa handifunge kuti tingatore nyaya yemunhu wanika yonzi Zimbabwe yakaipa no muriko kubotswana kwamuriko koko munonzi muri makwerekwerewo whatever but look we want to hear views that you love your country. What is it that you can contribute? But you benefited from the education. Number one in the world in Africa. Let's hear this progressive. If that's what you want to hear.
Munoona uye ndakapiwa PhD mahara vanhu vese vakadzidza vakabhadharirwa nemabereki vavo ndokuenda kuchikoro ivi kana makaita inyo like kuti makaenda kuwa mahara nana Mugabe it's fine but the point is kana mchitowa Mugabe akuramba wachihwina nei wasingadi kuerenga maresults kupa accountability yekuti maresults vanhu vakavhota i25,000 owerenga kuti pane mavhoti zveshuwa 25,000 Mugabe akahwina aya nei wasingadi
kuiyoya maelection iwavo vakapera kumwedzi vamugabe vatosarudzwa kuti vanenge vari mukuru veZANU-PF for the next 5 years ndo zvatakutodhira nazvo izvo zvakapera izvo iri michitaura yekuti zvavaramba vachingohwina isusu toda kuti vagadzirise apa pavari kuita sei pavari kukanganisa muri kurega vachihwina sei inomunai muri
panoda kuti vagadzirise nepekurega kubira maresults mbuya vaya vakaiswa kumaresults kunzi ndiye chairman haana word uya because anotongotaurirwa zvekuita saka ni maelections ekuzimbabwe they are not credible nekuti vanhu vacho vakaiswa ka they are handpicked naMugabe vaya vakati vamaresults vaitoringwa na chairman muna 2008 vakasungwa here varume vaya vakangoti vakabepa vakaitwa
vachingodaro vachingota Mugabe 90-year-old izvo zazvimbotibatire toda kuti kwamuri kubotswana chiwo chamuri kuita kuunza business ikokoko rekuti muzoinvesta in Zimbabwe. What is it that you're doing?
Environment isingaiti kuti kuita business hakuna munhu anoita business unaona chinotanga kutanga kuitwa kutanga kwaita kucreate environment iri conducive kuti business riitwe kana business ringoitwa ngorire corruption nekuuraya vanhu hakuna vanhu vanoda kuinvesta munyika makadaro
izo nyaya idzo ndakudhara mukoma dzekutaura dzekungochichidzira vanhu vanhu ikoko vari kuuya kuno kuZimbabwe kuzoinvesta we to you ini muri ikoko ini munongoda kunakirwa nekutukirira Zimbabwe muri ikoko zvokokubatsirei asi kuunza food on the table muri kuti vaMugabe vari uya muite take part in the election.
Aiwa tinotenda zvikuru gentlemen Mkoma George and Dr. Matonga, thank you so much. Unfortunately time is not our best ally. We want to thank our guests this evening, Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda, political analyst based in the UK, and Dr. Bright Matonga, former Deputy Information Minister. And we also want to thank our callers, our team behind the scenes, our engineers and producers. Signing off and saying have a blessed weekend. This is yours truly, Blessing Zulu.
And I'm Kip Stube saying good night, Zimbabwe.